Hi everyone, this is another installment of MySimpleFitness with E-Man. Sorry I didn't get to upload this video last week, but it was just crazy busy, and that happens sometimes. There's not much I can do, but here it is. Last week I said that I wanted to spend the next few weeks going over this acronym I've been using for a long time now, and the word is called health, where each letter has its own personal meaning, which I go into a little bit in last week's video upload. But this week I wanted to go with the first letter H, which stands for hydration. Now, I'm not too sure how much time you as the viewers have to watch these videos and learn, so until I get some feedback, I'm just going to keep these short and simple and just give you some tips that I've learned that's helped me a lot. The first tip I've learned about water is that a while back I read somewhere that ideally we should be getting about 8 hours of sleep per night, ideally. But in those 8 hours, even though our body's at a low active state, we don't get much nutrition consumed, let alone water. So when you wake up, your body's actually in a state of thirst, whether you know it or not. So really it's important, like right as soon as you wake up, you get some liquids in you, ideally about, I think it's 8 ounces of water. Don't quote me on that. I'm not an expert by any means. Anything and everything I say is simply stuff I've read in research and health magazines or from people that it works for them. Another thing that I've been reading a lot in a lot of online articles and magazines is this dispute as to how much water we actually need. I've heard as little as 8 cups of water per day to 1 ounce of water per pound that you weigh. But what I've learned gathering all this information that I've learned and come across in the last few months is that the amount of water you should be taking in is definitely correlated to how much activity you're spending in exercise per day, as well as the intensity of those activities. Most Americans are very sedentary. Our fitness levels is pretty much just sitting up and down on a couch while we're watching TV or getting home from work and all that stuff. So for a very sedentary lifestyle, you need very little water, just a few cups of water. But the more you work out, the more you exercise, the more water you need. Usually it goes that for every 20 minutes of exercise, you need about 5 to 10 ounces of water. But the more intense the activity is and the longer the exercise is, the more water you need. But I'll spare you the actual exact amounts that a lot of researchers says is very beneficial. I'll just leave it at that the more active you are, the more water you need. But even in the case where if you needed 1 ounce per body weight, that's a lot of water unless you are super active. But a happy median that a lot of people suggest is taking your body weight in pounds divided by 2, and that's how many ounces of water you need. For myself, currently I weigh 220 pounds. So that'd be 220 ounces divided by 2, giving me 110 ounces. And using an online conversion calculator, 110 ounces is equal to about 13 cups of water, which is very doable. But when it comes to hydrating yourself, it's not a matter of actually consuming cup after cup after cup after water. You have to realize that a lot of water comes from vegetables and fruit. Take into account watermelon has about 90% water. Apples, I think, have about 60 or 80. Tomatoes also have a high amount of water. So a lot of the water your body needs not only comes from from the fountain or bottled water, but from the food you are eating. So a lot of people, they can go a day without actually drinking water from a faucet or what have you, but they're getting their hydration through the foods that they eat. And unfortunately, soft drink beverages like Coke or Pepsi, they also have water in them. So even though it's not a very good source, you're still getting the water that you need through those. But there are items I'd like to talk about in terms of water from a fountain versus water coming in a bottle, the pros and cons, also the pros and cons of fluoride and other minerals that are found in tap water or in bottled water and the extra vitamins they put into it. But once again, I want to leave these videos really short, so I'll just leave you at that the water you need is definitely correlated with how much activity you are doing. And to keep in mind that you can get a lot of water from the foods that you eat, especially if you're eating a lot of vegetables and a lot of fruit. So this will be for this week. My next video, I'll be talking about the second letter in health, E, which stands for eating. So all the foods, I want to perhaps focus on the carbohydrates, the proteins, and fats, which seem to be like the three main areas of all foods. So until next time, find my fan page on Facebook. It's simply MySimpleFitness. There's discussion boards where I put up questions and like to hear just your different answers. You can post any comments on the wall, and definitely ask me any questions you have on fitness and nutrition through the Facebook fan page or even directly in my email account, mysimplefitness@gmail.com. And as I said earlier, I want to help you with any questions you have on fitness and nutrition. And later, when I get figure out how the video system works that I have, I'll be uploading tips for different exercises that you can do pretty much anywhere that have helped me in these last few months in my journey into getting back into shape. So yeah, definitely ask me questions. I'm here to help you, and not only to show you what I've been going through and my accomplishments, but I want you to also accomplish something for yourself to help you get back in shape. So I hope that you're better than you were before, and have a good one. Bye-bye.